ReZero, Side Story, Konosuba x ReZero Collaboration, Rem Part.
That day, when I came back home, for some reason there was a maid. She was a short, beautiful girl with blue hair, and she gave off somewhat of a quiet impression. "Oh, welcome home, Kazuma. Geez, you promised to come with me on my daily explosion, so where were you?" When the maid caught my attention, Megumin, who sunk into the couch, started talking to me while pouting. Daily explosions were a stupid daily thing that this lowly wizard insisted she had to do or else she'd die. It's true that I was supposed to be the one to carry Megumin back home on my back today, but from what I'm seeing, I figure she's already done with the daily routine. We were out of mayonnaise, so I went to go buy some more. I also bought some ingredients for dinner. "I'll take care of dinner tonight, so cut me some slack here, will you?" As I put the ingredients I bought onto the table, the blue-haired maid muttered something. "Mayonnaise? Something wrong with mayonnaise? Actually, what's a maid even doing here?" When I asked the maid a question as she got lost in her thoughts, with a surprised look on her face, she said, "No, I was just thinking about someone who loves mayonnaise." So mayonnaise exists in this world. In this world? It almost sounded like she was saying that she came from a different world, so I felt like something was off here. "Kazuma, allow me to introduce her. This is Rem. She just happened to pass by when I was resting on the ground after casting explosion magic. When I listened to what she had to say, she sounded kind of troubled, so I thought to help her out and brought her here. To me it just sounds like you were the one to be saved, unable to move and having trouble, can't see it as anything else. Hell, what were you thinking, going to cast explosion magic all by yourself? What would you have done if that girl didn't pass by?" Once this girl casts explosion magic, she has no more magical power at all and she can't move a muscle. She may have a quick temper and all sorts of weird things about her, but I'd thought that she wasn't stupid. I went to inspect targets for today's explosion magic. I found a rock that looked like it'd be pretty good, and I was going to go home, but for some reason a suspicious, white mist started to form. I sensed danger, so I shot it without thinking what'd happen afterwards. Then you were saved by this girl that happened to pass by. I'm sorry that our wizard bothered you. It's okay, I went out to buy some apar, but just when I felt like a white mist was wrapping me, I saw Megumin Summer passed out right in front of me. The maid named Rem says that and looked down in a troubled way. I wonder what an upper is. I could see some red fruits that looked like apples in the paper bag the maid was holding. Maybe those were it. Rem doesn't know her way back home. She'd said that she was going back to a mansion, so I'd thought that she was someone from the town Axel, but apparently she doesn't know the place. She said that she's not familiar with Axel, but it's the only town around here, and you said that you were wrapped in white mist. Were you being spirited away or something? Guess I'll go to the Adventurers Guild and research magic like monsters that manipulate white mist. Rem, right? If you have nowhere you need to be, then you should stay here for a while. We have extra rooms, anyway. It's to thank you for picking up our crappy wizard, so make yourself at home. All I've come across were beautiful but peculiar girls up to this point, but it must be fate or something for me to meet a genuine, beautiful maid like this. Thank you. I'm not sure how useful I'll be, but at least let me take care of stuff like the housework." As I tried to sound cool with some of my lines, Rem, the beautiful maid, let out a sigh of relief, perhaps because she'd been very worried. "And that's how, the beautiful maid and us. By the way, about the apar you're carrying, they aren't going to attack us, right? Why would you think they'd attack? Apar are fruit, you know." A life with Rem, a mysterious girl lacking just a little bit of common knowledge, began. The maid wakes up early in the morning. She gets up in the dark before the sun's even up, and starts preparing breakfast before the landlord is awake. "Good morning, Rem. You're up early again." "Good morning, Soto-sama." Soto-sama is up early too. "Sorry, breakfast isn't ready yet." Rem quickly bows her head, maybe because it was disgraceful for a maid to wake up after the landlord. "Wait, I didn't wake up early, it's just that I stayed up all night. I'll be going to sleep after this, so I don't need breakfast either." "Stayed up all night, you say? Were you perhaps doing research on that white mist?" I suddenly look away, as I really didn't want to say that I was up playing games all night to a worried face like that. No, I was just playing stuff since I couldn't sleep. So you don't need to worry about anything, Rem. Okay. Rem looked at me with an apologetic look, I guess because she was reading too much into my attitude, and so I panicked and tried to smooth things over. No, sorry, that's not quite right. I actually played games until morning. I'm really sorry for giving you the wrong idea. You know what, I'll have breakfast and I'll go to the Adventurers Guild to do proper research on the fog. Oh, okay. But this isn't good for your health, so please make sure to eat breakfast and get some sleep properly. What is this refreshing feeling? She's showing care for me, seeing that I'd played games all night. Since I met a heroine that doesn't classify as peculiar or crappy, once again I realized just how great my luck is. I am living together with a beautiful maid that suddenly came to our home one day. Isn't this the true life in a different world? Yep, this is exactly what they call a beautiful girl flag. I don't want to worry Subaru-kun any more than this, but I also feel bad for pushing you even though you're taking care of me. Subaru-kun? Is that someone you like or something? When I saw Rem face down with her ears slightly red, I understood that there was never any flag in the first place. I knew it. I knew there couldn't have been something so fortunate in this good-for-nothing world. The maid has a lot of work, all kinds of shopping to prepare meals, taking care of the garden when cleaning the mansion, and then there was stuff like, today's black tea is splendid again. I give it a perfect score. Thank you, Aqua-sama. Dealing with a worthless goddess that pretends to be a celebrity despite not even knowing what black tea tastes like. I turn towards Aqua, who has been an attention whore ever since Rem came to this house and wants to poke her nose into other people's business. You're acting pretty high and mighty for someone who hasn't even helped out with the investigation whatsoever. Rem, she doesn't know what black tea tastes like, so next time just give her hot water. Rude. How could I not distinguish taste? I am the goddess of water, you know. You are annoying when it comes to the quality of drinks. Aqua glared at me for a moment as she said that, but it's been confirmed that this girl doesn't even notice when high-class sake is replaced with cheap sake. It is currently in the afternoon. I wonder if the relaxing time we spend after eating lunch in the hall will be different with the excellent maid. Then, Darkness smiles at Rem, who was next to Aqua, as she drank the same black tea. Still, the black tea Rem makes is really good. Her cooking is also wonderful. Rem, you're always welcome to become a part of our group, so if you ever want to, just ask. Thank you very much, Dustiness Summer. But just those thoughts are enough. Rem's whole reply was polite. She was too perfect as a maid. Say, Rem, where are you from? You're kind of perfect as a human, so obviously you're not from this town full of oddballs, and such a good person being a resident of this country seems suspicious. Rem answers my question with another question. Do you have any idea what names like Lugnica, Vulcania, and Kararagi mean? Well, I know a magical sword user named Katsuragi. Are those names of places? I don't know them, but how about you guys? Aqua and Darkness, the two I asked the question to, also shook their heads. While Rem pondered something, the entranceway door opened. I'm Barak. Why does Rem look so serious? Did Kazuma sexually harass you while I wasn't? Keep an eye on him. Oi, who do you think I am? I don't remember ever doing anything weird myself. Mostly just unavoidable counterattacks against outrageous developments. Megumin, who'd went to the Adventurers Guild, came back and was saying rude things. No, apart from assaulting me by looking at me with indecent eyes once I get out of the bath, Soto-sama hasn't done anything yet. What the? This girl has a surprisingly sharp tongue. Oh, okay then. So, Megumin, how'd it go? Megumin had asked an Adventurer Guild member about the fog. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with the fog, but recently, never-before-seen monsters have been appearing near Axel. Apparently they speed up randomly, are pretty strong, and don't like to go out of town. Never-before-seen monsters? Then Megumin, continue to get more information in town. Maybe Darkness will find out something with her connections with nobles? Meanwhile, Aqua and I will check out the monsters from afar. The maid is really strong. Wah-ah. Reem. Help me, Reem. Aqua's voice echoes throughout the vast plain outside of Axel, who, as she let out a slight yell, An iron sphere with chains flies, and it smashed the head of the giant toad that was chasing Aqua. Aqua, who had been chased by a frog, clings onto Rem as she had saved her. I'm never leaving this girl's side. I mean, we have the same hair color and eye color, and she doesn't even feel like a stranger. Please stay with me, even if it's just when we're outside of town. I don't mind, but is it common for frogs as giant as those ones to be around this area? Axel is well known for its giant toads. They perceive most living things without metal armor as bait, and they're known as the weakest monsters around here. Not to mention, their bodies also are light and taste very good. It was going to just be Aqua and I to go, but Rem said that guarding is also a part of a maid's job and came along with us. At first, I was worried about if she'd be fine, but the results speak for themselves. By the way, where'd that iron sphere come from? You didn't have it when you left the mansion, right? Soto-sama, it's insensitive to pry into a maid's secrets. Still, monsters, they don't have the witch's stink, so they aren't beasts. I wonder what's a witch's stink. I set aside the fact that Rem said something strange for now and looked around the area again. I haven't seen anything but toads. Where are the never-before-seen monsters? Megumin said that they're seen at this plane, but they were nowhere to be found. Since there's nothing but toads in this plane, they probably moved to the forest or something. You know, toads smell like fish unless they're cooked properly, right? I wanted to eat delicious things, not just monsters and toads. So how about we go back home? Let's head back and eat Rem's delicious cooking. When I thought about what to do with Aqua not showing one bit of motivation, Rem immediately sniffed. And then, is it just my imagination? Rem, tilting her head slightly, muttered a few words. The maid makes people useless. Yes, Megumin-sama, open wide. Right now, in front of me I see Megumin unable to move from having used up all her magical power after her daily routine, making Rem feed her. Darkness is out to investigate the mysterious monster and the fog, and the useless goddess who hasn't been helpful whatsoever is sleeping even now after making Rem play board games with her until it was late at night. Hey, Rem, don't spoil her too much. Or rather, Megumin, you become a useless human too quickly. While I have lunch, I give some advice to Megumin, who is lying down on the couch, and Rem, who is standing next to her. Lately, Rem has been working her hardest for Megumin, perhaps because she has a habit of spoiling people or something. Come on, Kazuma, I know you're jealous, but please don't ruin this lovely life. Megumin, who wasn't as dissatisfied with this life as I'd thought, gets along very well with Rem. So well that Rem even goes with her on all of her daily explosion walks. Sorry, it's just that when I look at the color of Megumin-sama's eyes, I remember Nei-sama. Oh, so Rem has a big sister. What's she like? I can imagine that she's a very competent woman since she's Rem's sister. Rem looks sort of quiet, and she actually gives off this impression of being difficult to approach, so her sister should be the same. She's a lovely sister who likes steamed potatoes and naps. When I was having those thoughts on her, Rem started staring at me. What is it? I don't dislike you looking at me with passionate eyes, but it does make me feel awkward. This is different from the crappy companions I've gotten completely used to. I'll start to carelessly fall in love if a traditional beautiful girl stares at me like this. Sorry, Soto-sama's clothes look like the clothes Subaru has. Also, I'm just a little disgusted. You really do have a sharp tongue sometimes. Anyway, you said clothes that look like what I have on? Say, Rem, does Subaru-kun have black hair and black eyes? What I have on is a Japanese jersey. If his looks like that, then that means, yes, that's right. Subaru-kun has sanpaku eyes, is surprisingly fit, and is handsome. Okay, enough fawning over him, since I'll start wanting to kill Subaru-kun. But I see. I get most of it. So I have to ask, does Subaru-kun have some sort of amazing power? Like an unbelievable ability, or like a special move that turns everything upside down? Yeah, in most summonings into a different world, there are those sort of possibilities. None. He's just an ordinary boy that was a shut-in before, and he has just a little bit of an aptitude for yin magic. Huh? It's not the pattern where you go to a different world with a cheat ability. In that case, he must go through the same trouble I go through. And the fact that he's an ex-shut-in makes me sympathize with him even more. If me and him ever meet, I feel like we could be friends. In my case, I have Aqua, so I can come back to life as much as I want as long as I don't get severely injured a lot. So that in itself is kind of like a cheat ability. I have crappy comrades as a handicap to balance it out, but he must be having a hard time, since if he dies, then that's it for him. When I considered that, I got over the fact that a beautiful maid likes him. Soto-sama, I won't let you have Subaru-kun, you know. Hold on there, I won't tolerate those kind of jokes. I assure you that I'm not a homo. I faced Rem and gave her a wry smile as she started saying absurd things, but Subaru-kun's surprisingly popular with the ladies, be it Petrash or Petra, so I just got worried. Actually, I don't think I could be friends with Subaru-kun. Petra sounds like a name of a beautiful person, though I'm not so sure what a girl named Petrash would be like. Rem, if you're lonely and want to see your sister, then how about you think of me as your sister and spoil me? I actually have a little sister myself. Leave it up to me to be your big sister, but you're the one that looks just like a little sister, and there's something wrong with the older sister being spoiled by the younger one. Rem was diligently carrying the spoon to Megumin's mouth, like how a parent bird would feed its chicks, and she smiled slightly at us. It was the first smile Rem, who gave off a quiet, calm, cool, and collected impression, showed us ever since she came to this mansion, and it made it seem like she was watching a familiar interaction. The maid, the bell peppers. Soto-sama, I was preparing meals, and then the bell peppers suddenly attacked me. Rem came rushing from the kitchen with a pale face while I was repairing equipment in the hall. Who the hell are the bell peppers? Red magical beings. Wait, those are bell peppers. You didn't kill them properly. Once I took a look, I saw Rem holding bell peppers tightly. Bell peppers are tacticians in this world. They play dead while being harvested. Afterwards, they still continue to do so, waiting patiently to get on a cutting board, and the moment the cook turns their back on them, they attack. Did you not learn that you should be careful to check if the bell peppers are dead when you cook them? It's a good thing that they were bell peppers, because if they were matsutake mushrooms, you might have not been alive right around now. Bell peppers are scary. So scary. Hey, Rem, you aren't actually someone from this world, huh? Aren't you actually from a different world? Someone of this world and someone so good at cooking should be well aware of how dangerous bell peppers are. Plus, she also didn't know about Axel Town, and she also brought up names of places I've never heard of before. Soto-sama, you aren't surprised even after finding out that I came from a different world? Rem sighs with a worried look on her face. I was going to tell her, I probably came from the same different world as Subaru-kun, after all, but I stopped myself. Subaru-kun should be the one to come out with something important like this. It would be against the rules for me to reveal it. There are a lot of people from different worlds in this world, after all. It's nothing that surprises me now. As I said that, I placed the sword I was repairing back in its sheath. How are those people doing now? I promised to make Subaru-kun up a pie. Is there a way to go back? This beautiful girl facing down with an anxious look probably came to this world through an irregular way. In that case, forget about the useless goddess that's been spoiled by this girl every day. We have to get the superior goddess back. Don't worry about it. I promise I'll send you back. I may not look like it, but I have great luck. Soon enough, I'm sure that. Yes, I'm sure that someone will come barging into the mansion and, then, it happened when I was having those thoughts. Kazuma, Rem. I found out what exactly the white mist is. Darkness came barging in at the entranceway door opened. Recently, there have been dog monsters frequently appearing near Axel, and when you see them, there will always be white mist that appears with them. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with Rem, but I accepted a quest to subjugate them. When we were heading towards the vast forest near Axel, I saw Aqua and Megumin waiting. Kazuma, you're late. The monsters are getting away. The forest seems to be their territory, so it'd be a pain if they got deep inside it. Let's hurry up and kill them. Megumin, eyes shining red, was pointing at a group of gigantic dog monsters at the forest's entrance. I'd thought that there weren't any monsters living around here that were this strong. Where the heck did they came from? It happened then. Rem, who had been standing still behind us up to this point, seemed completely different, and it was as if she'd found her parents' enemy. Once she brought out her iron sphere, She started running with it in silence. Why? Rem rushed out before I could even stop her, and she, Alhuma, with a shout, she created several giant ice lances, and she shot them at the group of monsters. Hey, Kazuma, you know, that girl is pretty strong. Like so strong that I feel we could just leave. Don't say that, Aqua. I've already declared that I will bring her back while showing off, and I've even repaired the equipment that usually doesn't work very well. What the hell am I supposed to do about this? She doesn't even need us. Rem killed a myriad of dog monsters by using brutal magic we didn't know about, and after that, she swung around her iron sphere and crushed them one after another. The maid is strong. Super strong. I seriously want her in my party. Then it happened while we were watching her in amazement. Soto-sama, please run. A remarkably large animal with a horn on its forehead ran past Rem and dashed towards us. Darkness went in front of us to protect us, and the arm she stuck out towards the dog was being bit on hard. Damn. What a treat this is to have a dog reeking of beast on me. Kazuma, leave this up to me and cover Rem. Don't worry, I'll keep this guy busy like this. Come on now, leave it up to me to handle this and go on without me. I leave behind Darkness, who looked sort of fine, and backed up Rem with the bow I had in my hand. Soto-sama, please shoot it. I somehow reacted faster than Rem's frantic speaking. The giant dog that was biting Darkness dodged it and disappeared into the forest. Darkness-sama, please let me take a look at your injuries. Rem, who exterminated all of the dog monsters except for the one that ran away into the forest, came rushing over with a pale face. Don't worry, the wound is extremely minor. It's just a mere scratch. I wanted to be hit harder. I'm sorry our weirdo acts like this even though you were worried. I'm already used to it because of Roswell-sama, so it's okay. Rem gave an odd reply, though I don't know who Roswell-sama is, and she moaned softly with a pale face as she looked at Darkness' wound. Rem, your face is pale. Do you know that monster? Does it keep poison or deadly viruses in its nails and fangs or something? It's not poison, it's a curse. That beast casts a curse that weakens the person it bit. At the moment, the only way to release the curse is to kill the beast that casted it. Hearing those words, Aqua starts to feel Darkness' body. Rem turns her back on Darkness, and she starts walking towards the forest the monster disappeared into. Darkness-sama, please relax. I will now pay you back for the kind hospitality you showed when I wandered into this world. I promise that I'll save you. When Rem said that declaration vigorously, she looked towards the forest with the thirst for revenge in her eyes as I wondered, whatever happened to the timidness she had when she first came to our mansion? What should I do? I feel bad because she's so fired up, but I'm familiar with these flow of events, or rather, I know what happens after this. Calm down, Rem. It's all right, don't worry about Darkness. ! What are you saying? At this rate? She'll. Upon hearing those words, Rem suddenly turns around, and it happened just when she was about to lose control of herself. Sacred break spell, sure enough, or well, how should I put it? Aqua, being the dense one she is, chanted magic to release curses. When white light rose from the magical circle that appeared at Darkness' feet, something like a black haze appeared for a moment, and then it vanished. Rem, relax. Darkness is fine now. A curse like this is a piece of cake if you rely on me. Oh, they turned towards Rem as she unconsciously dropped her iron sphere and looked at them in confusion. Thanks, Rem. You tried to save me, and just those feelings are enough. I am very grateful. Why yeah, stuff like risking your life and trying to dispel a curse aren't things that people could do very easily. Yes, you were very cool. These two, as people who have memories of this same development, follow up while considering Rem's current feelings. Rem was facing down, so her facial expression couldn't be seen, but they were at least able to guess how she was feeling right now since her ears were red. Thank goodness, Rem, Darkness is saved. But that's a relief. You usually don't really show much facial expressions, but you're actually really nice, huh? With another dense remark, Rem crouched down while covering her face. This might just be my gamer's intuition, but I feel like Rem will be able to go back if we exterminate the beast that ran into the forest. Hearing my words, Rem, who'd been crouched down up to this point, stood up as if nothing had happened. In that case, I'll go into the forest now and chase it. But those beasts' stink is very faint. I wonder if it's because they came into this world where the witch isn't strong enough. I'm not sure how many days it'll take to hunt those beasts, but I hope that it's okay for me to be under your care until then. I shake my head at Rem, who said that with an apologetic look, you can stay in the house for as long as you want, but I told you earlier, didn't I? I promised to send you back. When Rem said that, I started using enemy detection with all the magical power I had in me. It was that strong. Just as I'd thought, the weak monsters around this area seemed to have ran away, and from inside the forest, I could only sense the presence of what seems to be the large dog from earlier. Oi, Megumin, are you ready? The target is in the direction I'm pointing in. If you cast magic with everything you have in you, the distance should be spot on. The town might get angry afterwards, but go ahead and hit the middle of the forest as hard as you want. You can count on me. Allow me to blast away that mutt with my powers. Rem, your big sister's going to show you what she's really got. I, not Kazuma, will send you back home. Rem chuckled softly at Megumin, who went ahead and called herself her sister. While Megumin was starting to chant magic resonantly, a remarkably loud cry was heard nearby. No. No. Rem, be ours. Please, stay by my side forever and spoil me. Aqua, don't be selfish. Everyone wants it, but why do you have to say things you shouldn't say out loud? Rem has a home, don't bother her anymore. Darkness frantically holds down Aqua, who was crying and trying to hold back Rem, as she probably anticipated what was going to happen. Rem looks at the two of them, and in a bit of a troubled manner, thank you all for taking good care of me. I felt a little confident in this world, she says that, bidding a shy farewell while sounding a little happy. Oh, Rem. Take this with you. While Megumin continued to chant magic, I said that and handed her large box closed tight. What's this? I faced Rem, who looked curious. You worked as a maid, but you weren't even paid properly, right? Even if I gave you money from this world, you wouldn't even be able to use it, so at least take this. And when I said that, with a slight smile, Rem said, thank you very much. By the way, what's in it? I also smiled back and, Rem was in the middle of buying apples, right? I bought some high-class ones, so take them home with you and make some upper pie or whatever for Subaru-kun. When I said that and handed over the box to Rem, she blushed happily. And well, I'm a little jealous, but I wish for happiness for you and Subaru-kun. To be honest, I'm not just a little jealous, but it's someone that such a great girl likes. He must be someone I could never hope to compare to, liked by everyone, honest, sincere. Yes. Subaru-kun's number one is Emilia Summer, but I'll do my best to become number two. Oi, what did you just say? Do my best and become number two. Oi, Megumin, stop the magic. We're going to make this girl ours. That asshole Subaru is an awful two-timing bastard. Ah, what are you doing? Darkness, stop it. Oi, let go of me. Megumin, you too, stop the mag. The beautiful maid from a different world had a worried expression, but she had an amused smile on her face. Explosion. The forest was wrapped in white light while a thunderous noise resounded throughout it.
Konosuba X Re-Zero Collaboration, Amelia Part.
This encounter was nothing but a miracle. Hey, is this place, in the white room? The stunned girl winked, tilted her head and asked herself. That girl looked amazing, with silver hair shining like the moonlight, purple pupils like gems, combined with that slender and perfect figure. Just a glimpse of her beauty makes anyone's heart burns. She is simply the supreme beauty, a work of art made by God himself, and a manifestation of true beauty. Afterwards, welcome to the great beyond, Miss Emilia. Saying this suddenly might scare you, but you are already dead, not long ago. This girl in front of her is a beautiful goddess, a girl with aqua blue hair, eyes as clear as the sea, perfect body, a face blooming with an extremely lovely smile. The two beautiful girls sitting in chairs and staring at each other across the table. To be honest, the beautiful silver-haired girl Emilia couldn't understand the situation as a whole. Then the girl with aqua blue hair nodded solemnly, and said, don't worry, I also know you are confused, but this is an indisputable fact, you're already dead. Please try to accept this fact first. Hey. Please wait a second. Am I really dead? Right. You're already dead. At a young age. It's painful. I am also very sympathetic. Hey, according to the data, the cause of your death is, poof. The girl with a mysterious face instantly giggled after reading the data on the table. Wait a minute. Death, the cause of your death was choking on mochi. Actually, it turned out to be such a old people's killing themselves method. You are so precious. Ah? Actual age. The girl crying from laughing glanced at the information and then at Emilia, and gestured as she understood everything, pointed to Emilia's ear and said, "So that's it, elves. I am generally in charge of Japan, so I have never hosted a child like you. I am not an elf, I'm a half-elf, is that so? But the ears are really long. Well, they are not that bad for me as a goddess." In other words, it turned out to be mochi, puff puff puff. Emilia's eyes widened, staring incredulously at the belly-laughing girl. After seeing this reaction, the girl gently tilted her head and then said, "Well, forget it. In short, now we got it, let's continue. I'm Aqua. I am the goddess who gives guidance to those who die young. Although it's a little different now." What did you just say now? Don't mind about details. More important. Well, it seems that you're young and you currently have two choices. But because one of the choices is meaningless, just pretend that it does not exist. Then go straight to the one I recommend now. Although she was a mess at rhetoric, Emilia did not interrupt the girl named Aqua's speech. After seeing Emilia's reaction, Aqua went back to the chair and said, "That is, isekai, keeps the current memory and abilities, reincarnates in another world, and starts another brand new life." Another world? Rebirth? Well, as an Kazuma from Japan once said, my word is persuasion. It seems that the term is not very obvious for the child who originally lives in an isekai world. Hey, in other words, after all, Emilia had no idea about the word isekai means, and Aqua suffered to explain what a pleasant place the other world is. Then, after 30 minutes of explanation, Emilia nodded as if she was able to understand it. That's it. Another world, where you can eat to and play with whatever your heart could wish every day, and there are many handsome men and beauties. It's a very happy place, that's it. Having such an opportunity, you would be a fool if you didn't take the opportunity. Don't be a fool. You should make a decision as soon as possible. But. What else? Why are you still hesitating? Is there any better than this? Look, the welfare after reincarnation is also very luxe. While Aqua continued to pressure the hesitant Emilia, she hurriedly took out something from the drawer of the table. That is, there is a catalogue that contains a lot of information about the isekai bonus, including photos. Look, here you go. You can also freely choose these rebirth bonuses. Even with photos. The office supplies are much more complete than previously. In other words, the chairs and tables seem to have been improved a bit. How dare Eris be so smug? The grudged Aqua knocked the catalogue on the table and stamped in annoyance with an angry expression on her face. Then she gave the catalogue to Emilia again. "Okay, please have a look. Among the things here, you can pick one and take it, but just now you put too much on this book. The book itself is not important, but its content is. Well, whether it is a legendary sword or super powerful magic, you are free to choose. With these, the crusade against the Demon King can continue smoothly, and the possibility of me returning to the heaven is also. The crusade against Demon King. Heaven? Don't worry about these little Datolus. Now, please. Choose one and reincarnate in another world as soon as possible. Just do it for me, okay?" Aqua continued to persuade Emilia to reincarnate in another world, but Emilia didn't know what to do next. To be honest, Emilia didn't understand well Aqua's explanation. That's because she treated Emilia as a dead person from Japan? Or is it simply because Aqua's explanation is terrible? In short, Emilia still has a little knowledge about the situation, but Emilia touched the emerald on her chest as a symbol of the contract with the spirits, and groaned. Now she can't feel her connection with Puck anymore. This is, without a doubt, an unusual situation. In the past she would definitely panic, but, PLEAC, the presence of that girl named the goddess in front of her gave her a wonderful peace of mind, so even in this state, she did not fall into a panic, and, even if she is dead, isn't she still alive now? Now, please, can you decide quickly? I have to take advantage of Eris's absence and send as many people as possible to increase the chances of defeating the Demon King. If I did that isekai, could I help you? Yeah. That's right. How about it? Have you decided to do it? Oh, I see. Although I am still a little apprehensive, I will do my best, okay? Okay. Yes, this is the job of a goddess. Seeing Emilia's consent, Aqua happily raised her hands in a gesture of joy, and finally showed a relieved expression on her face. Ha ha. It's good to meet a frank child, and I can also get the work done easily. Here is this. In retrospect, it was also strange to Kazuma at the beginning. Did you decide which bonus you will get? Since you are the first person to work with this long-lost goddess, let me pick a good one for you. Aqua, with a smiling face, flicked through the catalogue on the table. The first one's a Sacred Sword of Destiny and Masamura Demon Sword, forget it. At one hand they are very powerful when holding it. But on the other hand, as long as the sword is removed, you will completely become an ordinary person, so they are traps. There are also weird power and super magic power. Although they look very powerful, they are also traps. If you are not careful, you will break the door, destroy the equipment, and even hinder any interpersonal relationship. Then there is super magic, which allows people to use very powerful magic. It's good for a goddess with such beauty and talent. If it is given to ordinary people, it is a completely overkill. I feel it'll very hard no matter what. I don't know how to use swords, and becoming a Hercules will bother me. Magic is such a thing. So what? Is there anything you want? Emilia, who looked confused, suddenly her eyes shone, she folded her hands, and nodded her head. Just Aqua is fine. Aqua seems to know many complicate things and is willing to teach me all kinds of stuff. She's really very reliable. Therefore, rather than choosing something, I still hope Aqua can be by my side. Wait. Hey, is that a lie? Wait, why? Emilia held at her chest proudly as if she had offered a valuable suggestion, but Aqua fought herself desperate, with tears in her eyes. However, it was too late. At that very moment, the white magic circle on the floor released a strong light, surrounding they both. Even Emilia was shocked by such amazing magic power. Aqua jumped from the chair instantly, panicky. Wait. That does not count. Invalid. This is definitely not okay. Beware. Aqua, who was about to escape from the magic circle, was caught by the white light and hugged by Emilia. At the moment the two embraced, a dazzling white light was emitted on the ground. No way. Why is this happening again? With Aqua's crying in sorrow, the two girls disappeared. The two stood in the middle of the street, with a busy carriage in front of them. As the light faded, the two had been teleported to a completely different place. Emilia was shocked by what happened in front of her, and she had to blink her eyes in amazement. Wow, that's amazing. I went to another place out of the blue, like Beatrice's door crossing. But, where is this place? Although the atmosphere is similar to that of Kingdom of Lugnica, it feels a little different. Aqua, what is this place? Aqua? Aqua, are you okay? Aqua ignored Emilia, who was talking about the place in front of her, and just crouching on the ground with her head in her arms. After seeing Aqua's looks, Emilia shook Aqua's shoulder and said, "Are you okay? Does the stomach hurt? Do you want to lie down and rest?" No. Do not confuse the great trouble of the goddess with a child's stomachache. Really, you can't speak in such a tone. I'm obviously worried about you, so if you say this, the other party will be very awkward. Honestly, Aqua is a naughty girl. I just told you don't treat me like this. The crying Aqua stood up in frustration. After saw Aqua like that, Emilia crouched helplessly. Is there something bothering you? If you can, tell me about it, now. Just now. I'm in the middle of a trouble. Nah. Why are you doing this? Huh? What's wrong with you? What do you have against me? Hey, hate or anything? Not really? Facing Aqua's questioning, Emilia felt extremely confused. Why was Aqua so distressed? Emilia had no clue. At that moment, the surrounding eyes instantly focused on the two people who were making a fuss on the street. After all, as incomparable beauties, call attention for those two was inevitable. What? Although she usually calls attention, Emilia petrifies at being stared suddenly. By reflex, he stretched out his hand to put on the back hood, but felt empty because her current clothes did not have a hood. Then, ow, it's broken. If this continues. Right. Come here, don't waste my time. Really? I thought I met a frank child, my mistake. Why is this happening to me? Aqua grumbled, grabbing Emilia's arm and starting to walk. She just crossed the street and followed Aqua into a hidden alley. In the dark alley, after confirming that there was no one around, Aqua casually said okay and turned round. There is nobody here for now. In any case, you did a really terrible thing. No one never brought the goddess into another world. No, you're the second person in history to commit such evil. Fortunately, I am a merciful and compassionate goddess, thank me very much. Hey? Are you listening? Isn't this a warning from the goddess? Ignoring the commendable warning of Lady Aqua, are you as rude as Kazuma? Hey, it's not that. I'm listening, so react. I'm in this situation because of you. Take responsibility. Aqua pouted and said. She untied the iconic knot with his hands, and after spreading the hair, she started to form a long braid slowly. What are you doing? Doesn't it look like you know it? Disguising. My current state would be very troublesome if I met any acquaintance. Although there is no way to be recognized no matter where, but if they found me, I would definitely be nagging a lot, so let's avoid it. Look, what about? After braiding her long hair, she put on glasses that she took out from nowhere. Her beauty with blue glasses frame is perfect, and the impression she gives had changed a lot in an instant. But, although she looks nothing like Aqua, she is still Aqua. Amazing, it's like different people, yeah? Isn't that right? Even myself am a little scared of being so almighty. You can call me Lady Aqua. I'm sorry, I don't understand what you are talking about. What? Emilia glanced at Aqua while twirling her silver hair. Would you like to say something? Can I also change clothes like Aqua? Why? It does not make any sense, because I'm a half-elf. If I show up on the street reckless, except for the people around, it will also gives Aqua a hard time, because you're a half-elf. It seems you don't know yet. Come here, hey, ow. As before, Emilia was being dragged by the street by Aqua. When she heard the noisy voices in the street, she was about to break free from Aqua's hands. Aqua pointed her other finger forward and said, take a look around. The passerby over there, and the two people drinking tea there. Their ears are very long. They must be elves. Although I don't know how your original world is, no one here cares if you are a half-elf or an elf. Compared to this, it would be even worse if my identity as goddess is revealed. So, try to call me Aqua. Hey, are you listening to me? Hello, are you listening? Don't ignore me. Emilia was so shocked by the sight that she was speechless. On the other hand, Aqua put on an expression of dissatisfaction, desperately emphasizing her existence. Excuse me, sorry, huh? What the hell is this? However, Emilia didn't pay attention to Aqua, but spoke to a fierce man who happened to be passing by there. The man turned his head, with a pain expression at first, but when he realized that it was two beautiful girls who stopped him, his expression instantly changed. What's wrong, little girl? Are you looking for your family? Puff. Man. This face looks too intense, it cracks me up. First, don't pay attention to those rude one over there. Are you looking for someone? Well, this may seem strange. Are you afraid of me? Hearing Emilia's question, the man was lost in thoughts. After being hit on by two beautiful girls, He was expecting a romantic development. One of them pointed to his nose and laughed at him, and the other asked an inexplicable question. Are you testing me? Or is it a prank? At that moment, the many bad endings that popped into the man's head stressed him out. If he was only being laughed at, it would be okay. If the worst comes to the worst, he might fall into a trap and will lose all his money. It was payday, and after finishing drinking, he would being ready to go to the dream shop. Of course she came after the money, so the man immediately stayed turned. However, the man hesitated for a brief moment. The reason is the look in the eyes of the girl in front of him, Emilia. This look is sincere, looking forward to the man's answer, as if she is seeking for something, and the man's answer will be its proof. It's too much. This is not the look in the eyes of a passerby woman. Even in that man's not rich experience of interacting with women, there is no similar experience. If the worst comes to the worst, you may be giving up on all his money and get poor. Eventually you will get full of debts and he will not be able to commit himself to the casinos and lose his dignity as a man. Ah, little girl. How could I be afraid? You are very beautiful. After a great deal of though, the man answered the question. After a great deal of though, the man decided to answer that way. If he deceived her, he would be that kind of man. Lost into the tears of that woman, he would just live as humble and lowly as a slave. However, when Emilia heard the man's answer, her face immediately lighted up. Thank you. I'm so happy. Let's go, Lady Aqua. Hey, wait. Stop pulling me. Too hard? What's going on? This child is too strong. Like darkness, after shook the man's hand and thanked him, Emilia took Aqua and walked across the street. Although Aqua wanted to resist, she was not as strong as her, so she complained and threw herself at Emilia's mercy. What happened? Those two kids. The man stood there and watched the two leave. Although he didn't know what was going on, the man was very happy deep down in his heart. The girl who held her hand to express her gratitude, and her gratitude wasn't fake. He didn't choose the wrong one, he really helped that girl, in that case. That's great. The man enjoyed a sense of satisfaction and walks in the opposite direction of the girls. Somehow, he feels very happy. Therefore, the choice for that dream shop today is decided to be the arrogant girl with blue hair and glasses. If he chooses the girl with pure silver hair, his conscience would be guilty. Emilia took Aqua and walked upright on the street. It was a pleasant surprise for Emilia to be able to walk in such an upright manner without wearing a hood or covering her ears. So it is a shop, and the people over there, everyone lives for granted. Nah, it hurts. My hand. Easy. Please, can you be more careful with me as a goddess? Look, Lady Aqua. This place. It's great. It's not like Lugnaca at all. It isn't that different. Anyway, listen to what the others are saying. After struggling with all her strength, Aqua finally get rid of Emilia's hand. Aqua was blowing on her wrist while looking at Emilia, who ignored her and continued to move forward. Listen. This is the starter town, Axel. Although I don't know how you lived in your original world, since you get here now, forget everything about there, which means, without covering my ears and hair, can I walk upright on the street? So are you wanted? I don't think so. This is such a terrible experience. Although there are subtle differences in understanding, the two have already begun to understand each other. In any case, Emilia no longer had to hide her identity, and little by little, she had stated to accept the fact that she reincarnated in another world. So, let me teach you about adventurers. Remember, and then go to defeat the Demon King as soon as possible. Of course, the sooner the better. Yes, Lady Aqua. But before that, there are so many things I want to do. How dare you talk back to me? But as you called me Lady Aqua, I will spare you. Well, let's hear it, as expected of Lady Aqua. So gentle. Hey, what? Say more, say more. Not knowing what was good or evil, Emilia has always been a very frank child, and soon the conversation proceeded according to what Aqua was pursuing. After that, Lady Aqua, so amazing, okay, come in, Lady Aqua, so cute, continue, Lady Aqua, it's so beautiful, repeating the same conversations all the time. Ha, ha. I'm so exhausted. Although it is true, I haven't been treated like this recently. It feels great. Lady Aqua, are you okay? Take a break. I'm going to find some water. No, it's okay. About water, I can do it myself. I was originally the goddess of the water. Not to mention my own flesh water, even 1 month of domestic water here is a piece of cake for me. With that, Aqua activated, create water, poured water into a cup that came out of nowhere, and drank it all in one go. After seeing it, Emilia clapped in admiration. Amazing. Lady Aqua is really omnipotent, hey? Right? Did I accidentally let you see it again? That's bad. I didn't intend to show off at first. However, the strong ones show strength in every move. Lady Aqua, let us continue with what we're just talking. It's really character decomposition. So, Emilia asked Aqua to go ahead with the topic just now, but Aqua sighed involuntarily. Well, if you want me to listen, I'll listen. However, if there is any strange request, I will refuse it without hesitation. So, what's the matter? Yes. Am I here to defeat the Demon King? But before this, I want to go shopping on the street. Okay, dismissed. Puff puff. No way. Did you hear me? There is no time for these nostalgia here. You have to become an adventurer as soon as possible, and then embark on a journey to defeat the Demon King. Otherwise, why did I drive away Eris so hard and secretly send reincarnated over? Hey? Lady Aqua, what did you just say? Okay. In short, rejected. Absolutely not. Seeing Aqua rejecting her request, Emilia bowed her head and mumbled regretfully, really. Oh, I see. Too bad, but Lady Aqua said so. You see, looking at your regretful expression, I can't bear it. But there is nothing special here. Even if you stroll around, it won't be fun. Is Lady Aqua from here? I'm a goddess, I'm from heaven, of course. It's just been here for a while, and it doesn't seem to have changed at all. I see. However, this is the first time for me. And, don't care about your half-elf identity, this is the first time I feel this way. Emilia gave a lonely smile, then turned her head away. Oh, I'm sorry, just say some willful words. Moreover, what Lady Aqua said, and more. Like that, it will deepen my guilt. I know. I'll accompany you for a little stroll. Really? Emilia's face suddenly lighted up, and she took Aqua's hand. Then they happily jumped with joy. Wow, I'm glad. Thank you, Lady Aqua. You don't have worry about causing trouble to others, it's still the first time I go to the streets without fear. Wait. The child's past is heavier than I imagined. The atmosphere before her death was terrible. Emilia spoke cheerfully, leaving Aqua frozen. At that time, Emilia looked at the shops on the roadside and the outer walls surrounding the town with relish, and was full of curiosity about everything in her reach. Where should I start? Seeing Emilia's looks, Aqua sighed deeply. Don't worry, just go and see all the places you like. Hey? May I? To this extent, you can still be accompanied. I'm not a devil. By the way, I'm a goddess. Besides, as a reincarnation bonus, I have to accompany you on the adventure. It would be too pitiful if I didn't satisfy even this little wish. ? Emilia didn't listen well the latter words, and tilted her head. Aqua waved her hands vigorously at Emilia. Let's go. Although I agreed to go sightseeing in the city, it doesn't mean I can just hang around. Also, when sightseeing, try not call me Lady Aqua, or Lady Goddess. Whatever one, it's going to be a lot of troublesome if I was exposed. Yes, Lady Aqua, didn't I just say not to? But it feels good, you can call me again. Lady Aqua? Shall we go? You're taking my ground, please don't. The impatient Emilia leapt forward into the streets, followed by Aqua. Then, they set off on their trip to Axel. Although, the Humha group started a trip to Axel, it's really a town with nothing extraordinary. Do you want to go to Alcanrisha? It can be a famous tourist spot, and you can also try the missionary activities of the Axis cult. Axis cult? The Axis cult is a group of followers who worship and believe in me, Aqua, the goddess of water. Unlike the Eris Church, although the number is small, they are all elites. They work tirelessly every day to let the world know about my greatness. They are a group of lovely children. Are Emilia attending school? Sorry, why did you apologize? It hurts me to be rejected. Emilia couldn't help but laugh when she saw Aqua's expression. Aqua stared at Emilia and then said, even so, Emilia is strange, too. Where is the fun of this town without charm? Yeah. But it's really fun. It's all scenery I haven't seen. And, Lady Aqua is with me. I am not alone, it makes me feel at ease and happy. Seeing Emilia smiling with joy, Aqua held her arm proudly. In fact, Aqua was confused. Recently, Aqua has had little to do with such frank and sincere thanks, forcibly being taken to another world by Emilia. Although it was a cursed fate at first, after getting used to it, she also started to feel that life was not that bad. That being said, there is still a little discontent over whether or not to be treated as a goddess. These dissatisfaction and depression are now being eliminated little by little thanks to Emilia. Continue to deepen feelings. By the time there is guilt, the trouble. Lady Aqua? Nothing. Anyway, are you tired of shopping in the city, right? We are almost at the Adventurers Guild, so prepare to become a real adventurer. However, what's on that little stall? Let's go to the Adventurer Guild while eating. I'll pay you for that. Thank me very much. Very charitable of a goddess. Wow, I'm glad. As expected of Lady Aqua. So gentle. Hum, go on, say a little more. Then, led by Aqua, the two made their way towards the Adventurer Guild. The Adventurer Guild is a super large building that merges a wine shop and a restaurant, and the aroma of cooking standing outside just come to your nose. Emilia was in front of the building, looking with wide open eyes. Is this the Adventurer Guild that Lady Aqua mentioned? Yes. After registering here, an adventurer card will be given to you, and then based on the above stats, select the corresponding occupation. After registration, you are a real adventurer. The long-awaited journey to defeat the Demon Kings has officially begun. ? Rather than talking nonsense here, it's better to take action. Excuse me, come on. Excuse me, it was something that hadn't been heard before, and Emilia was filled with questions. Aqua happily patted Emilia on the shoulder and pushed open the door of the guild. Emilia followed right behind, and then, welcome. Please come to the counter if you are looking for work, and please sit down if you have a meal. As soon as he stepped into the guild, the voice of a busy waiter was heard. After hearing the sound, the men in armor in the store looked at them at the same time. After feeling so many sharp eyes, Emilia couldn't help but grab the sleeve of Aqua's clothes. Lady Aqua, it feels like everyone is staring at us. Hey, will people be attracted by my breath of God even disguised? That's terrible. But if I respond, I lose. Ignore it here, ignore them and go to the counter. Oh, sorry, Emilia followed Aqua timidly. Although people in the union were looking at them both, the reason was completely different from what she thought. They were simply felt attracted to the two unaccompanied girls. However, this is enough to prove that Aqua's disguise is still effective. But, do the adventurer register? Okay, the registration requires 1,000 eris. Hey, credit first. So we are in trouble. Originally you are, isn't you Miss Aqua? Hey, why is it exposed? Because the adventurer card cannot be forged. And if you don't show your identity, you won't be allowed to pay on credit. Immediately after hearing the conversation at the counter, the men in the store suddenly felt bland and extremely depressed. What? What's Aqua? Don't make such misunderstanding. In other words, the child next to her is also a child with a brain problem. That was close. I was almost cheated. The men she thought she had deceived started mutter. They said things like sober up, no more appetite for drinking, and left one after another. Because of this unexpected development, the guild became extremely quiet. Hey, the woman at the counter looked at Akira with sympathy. So, can the registration fee be charged to Miss Aqua's account? Hemp, I'm sorry. Boo-hoo, this evil capitalism that cannibalize people without spitting out their bones. Aqua's sobbing echoed through in the silent guild. Lady Aqua is really super famous. Yes, of course. Anyway, I am the goddess Aqua, and I am also a archpriest of a higher class. How could I be in this beginner town with my rank? In a corner of the Adventurers Guild, Emilia said it while holding the adventurer card she just got while looking at it with interest. Unbelievably, the text recorded there should have been something Emilia had never seen before, but it was as if it had naturally penetrated into her mind and could fully understood her. According to the card, Emilia's profession is the arch-wizard. According to women at the counter, this is a rare profession that can then manipulate many powerful magic attacks. Although Emilia didn't have any idea about this, she couldn't be wrong by the look of the woman at the counter who was taken aback when she saw the card. Well, it's a higher-level profession, and it's our archwizard, which is a good sign. If it's like Kazuma, who was nothing more than an adventurer, you would be troubled, but you will become stronger soon. Don't learn a magic like Megumin, this doesn't matter. However, as Lady Aqua said, is this okay? Is this a skill point? It seems that they are all pointed to the banquet skills, that should do it. It is very necessary. As an rookie, there is no harm in learning more. Besides, doesn't Emilia also have her own magic? But I don't use a lot of magic. And I can't feel the breath of quasi-spirits around here. Emilia frowned, very distressed that she couldn't feel the quasi-spirits. Since she came there with Aqua, the quasi-spirits seemed to have vanished from her side, and she still can't feel Puck's connection, and there was a great deal of unease about the future. Not feeling the connection with the spirits is very unfavorable for Emilia, who is a spirit user. Not only in combat, but also in spirit. I stayed there for so long, and I don't want Puck or Subaru to worry too much. There is no need to put on such an uneasy expression, it doesn't matter. Judging by the stats on the card, the magic side is quite high, and you will surely be able to learn other magic soon after you increase your level. As long as you learn one, your development will snowball. Aqua was completely wrong about the reason for Emilia's anxiety, and she continued to encourage her. Hearing Aqua's encouragement, Emilia smiled and nodded. Well, thank you, Lady Aqua. Then, what do we do next? Eat, indeed. The next development should be to eat and drink, and then end the day in general. However, this is not okay. Emilia had become an adventurer. So, there is only one thing that we should be doing next, adventure. While listening to Aqua's explanation, Emilia looked at the countless quests posted on the wall. Indeed, there are all kinds of requests posted there. I always felt that there are a lot of Warcraft to be commissioned. Well, adventurer is a life-threatening job. On the other hand, if it is a job that is not life-threatening, isn't it necessary for adventurers to show up? But don't worry. I'm the High Priest, healing magic and resurrection magic are a piece of cake. No matter what kind of battle there will be, let it go. Wow, that's amazing. As expected of Lady Aqua. She's beautiful. Hey, don't stop, tell me more. Lady Aqua, awesome. Lady Aqua, so cute. Aqua looked at the requests posted on the wall with great joy. That too, this too, it's not a difficult work. There isn't a job that can pay off a lot of money, otherwise, how can we make use of mine and Emilia's excellent talents? Rather, what kind of job? Yep, like a former Demon King's general or the mobile fortress destroyer. The triumphant Aqua brags to Emilia about her past battles. Seeing Emilia's eyes gleaming, Aqua became even more triumphant and repeating herself, urgent. Urgent. All the adventurers, please equip your weapons and gather at the main gate. Not only in the guild, but the entire town was blasted with the sound of broadcasting. This sudden voice scared Emilia, but Aqua squeezed her face with a tight cry. What is wrong? What happened? It is an urgent quest. If there is an emergency, they will inform all the adventurers like this. It's obviously not the cabbage harvest. What? Miss Aqua, Miss Emilia. Please go to the main gate as soon as possible, you two, please, the lady receptionist of the guild said after seeing Aqua and Emilia. To explain the situation, she hurried to the front door, and the two also left the union shortly thereafter. Hey, what is the urgent quest? Hearing Aqua's question, the gasping receptionist said, with an uneasy face. The magnificent toad appeared. Although the giant toads are just giant toad-shaped monsters, they should not be underestimated. It is even larger than a cow or a horse. In addition, incidents such as swallowing domestic animals and people during the breeding period sometimes happens. However, for the well-equipped adventurer, there is no danger, and for rookie adventurers, there are good experience point sources. Indeed, the magnificent toad is different, even Aqua said nervously after seeing that far away. According to the urgent quest requirements, the adventurers gathered in front of the main gate of the town. Even the strong man who lives for fighting, after look in the same direction, their legs trembled involuntarily. Right in front of the gate of Axel, a mountain was moving. No, it was not a mountain. That was a giant toad as big as a mountain, the toad of toads, the hero of the toad, unlike any toads they have seen so far. So that was the magnificent toad, commonly known as King Toad. It's over. Is a 10-year-old King Toad. It is the biggest King Toad of the decade. It is the biggest King Toad of the decade, bigger than the one 2 years ago. The adventurers lowered their heads, all they felt was fear. Of course. There was no way. Although they are usually engaged in life-threatening jobs, the beginner villages there are still rookies after all. Although there are experienced adventurers who are still there, their abilities are limited, after all. However, no, wait. It's too early to give up. Remember. So far, there have been many crises here. Haven't all the dangers been eliminated in the end? This was one man among the low-morale adventurers who said. Someone was moved by what the man's words and said yes, it is true, and when it was the Dullahan, and when it was in the mobile fortress, we were all fighting. There must be a way this time. The adventurers' eyes gleamed with hope, and they looked at each other. Then their gazes were all focused on the high-handed Aqua. Although she is still in disguise, she has been exposed in the guild, so the current disguise is meaningless. So they all knew she was Aqua, and said it as if they were placing their hopes on her. Hello, Aqua. Where are your companions? If Kazuma was here, with that little cleverness, there would be a way. Besides, that girl has a problem in his head. Kazuma and the others are not at home. I'm acting alone because they 3 went away. Whoa. It's over, it's completely over. The first man who had just spoken, his hope was broken again. There he scratched his head wildly in chaos, and all the other adventurers were like him. The hope was ignited for an instant, and morale sank at the bottom. This is the biggest King Toad in 50 years. This is the biggest King Toad in 50 years, bigger than the one 2 years ago, the adventurers muttered emptily. When Aqua saw how they were, she said with complacency, how rude. Even if Kazuma is not here, don't you still have me? Whether someone is injured or dead, you can be a resurrection without fail. Go and die with confidence, be shallowed and digested, it will make you a Buddha. After the adventurers heard Aqua's pronunciation, their morale that was low, suddenly fell into the abyss. After seeing their reaction, Aqua swelled up her cheeks and said why. The situation has not changed so far. The King Toad did not change the direction, approaching the town step by step. Lady Aqua, what should I do now? How about spell it out first? As the toad leapt forward, making a sound that shook the earth. A battle meeting was held at this time, although only Aqua and Emilia were present. But because Emilia only gave a few hard suggestions, Aqua also became uneasy. This, cleverness ideas should be made by Kazuma. My job is magical support, it's hard to be useful in this. I'm not good at using my brain. Do you want to start anyway? Wait. Let me think about it. Wait a moment. Aqua looked at Emilia with excitement, but now she was very confused because of the change in her role. That time, truthful words are bound to take advantage of that little cleverness, but today they are not. And, let a level 1 archwizard go to a hand-to-hand fight, although she could be resurrected, but it's not too good. The other adventurers were also unreliable. Those people like Kazuma are really useless the most critical times. After we go back, I must talk about him well. Is this person named Kazuma a friend of Lady Aqua? It's a companion. He was essential to defeating the Demon King and returning me to the heaven. Especially the man who is responsible for making suggestions in this kind of crisis. For several times, when Aqua was venting her displeasure with her grievances, she suddenly turned her head. Emilia also turned her head and looked in the same direction. Then Aqua said, "Emilia, can you use ice magic?" The warfare which Aqua came up with was very ordinary. It seems that Kazuma has done something similar before. Well, I and Kazuma are not the same. Although the ideas are similar, the specifications are very different. Make no mistake about this. Stop talking, hurry up. The impatient adventurers protested against Aqua's opening statement. Aqua pouted and looked aside. Standing there was Emilia with clenched fists in front of her chest, and then she also looked at Aqua. Unlike the adventurers around, Emilia's eyes were full of trust. It's like a believer who trusts her goddess Aqua. Therefore, the goddess Aqua must show off in front of her follower. My life in this world belonged to Aqua, the goddess of water. At this time, a huge magical circle was rolled up in the sky, and countless small drops of water floated up. Each drop of water possessed amazing magical power. As the water drops slowly gathered together, they formed a powerful force. Sacred create water. With the activation of the spell, a large amount of water gushed out from the sky. Because the gate of Axel City was closed, the flood did not reach the city in danger, but swept towards the King Toad with stormy waves. Due to the magnitude of the flood, even the King Toad couldn't move on for a while. However, even if the size is different, the toad still's a toad. After all, it is impossible to be completely submerged by water, so it will continue to move after the water slowly recedes. But before that, Emilia, it's your turn. All right, Lady Aqua. Aqua yelled when it was over, and Emilia also responded loudly. Then, Emilia stretched out her hands to face the King Toad caught in the flood, and casted the spell as she taught before. The lonely river that connects the underworld will eventually reach the abyss of life, and the soul will be frozen. I will be hostile and lead you to. It was a huge magic power that could match the magic that Aqua casted. The mist started to surround her, and it was concentrated in Emilia's hands. With a burst of strong light directed at the King Toad, the flood was instantly frozen. I've heard about Kazuma doing something similar with basic magic before. This is different in scale. This is the magic combo of the goddess Aqua and her devout Axis cultist. Aqua stood in front of the frozen King Toad and spoke confidently. Next to her, Emilia snapped her fingers and said her final words, "Confess to the underworld." "All right, Lady Aqua." With some trick closing words, the King Toad spread out into ice. After the peaceful chilling of the King Toad, following by enjoying being hyped by everyone, triumph like heroes, after being praised, Aqua and Emilia walked together on the road at night. Satisfied. Such a giant toad, it's really delicious. Yes. It's the first time I ate toad. I didn't expect it to be so delicious. It's great that the rest of the city could share it with us. Well, I originally wanted not be too conspicuous while Kazuma and the others were out. But it would not be good if the town was destroyed, and for not showing the identity, the reward be reduced. Before that, the guild gave priority to transport the King Toad into the street, afraid the toad meat had been distributed everywhere for everyone to eat. However, Master Aqua was really amazing. Coming up with that kind of plan, that was nothing. A level 1 using such a powerful magic, you will definitely become a top-class archwizard soon. Thus Goddess can assure you. Thank you, Lady Aqua. Just as they were bragging about each other while walking at night. I finally found you, Senior. You. Aqua turned her head stiffly after hearing the sound. Emilia turned her head too, but it's completely unknown why. There stood a beautiful young girl with silver hair and blue eyes, her cheeks flushed, and she stared at Aqua intensely. "No, isn't it obvious that you can't do this without authorization? When I was away, you tricked this child, who was entrusted to stay behind, using the opportunity to take away a job or whatever, huh? In the final analysis, I think it's even more unforgivable for you to be lazy at work. Even ignoring your own fault and accusing seniors instead. This. But, the demoralized girl lowered her head in front of Aqua. Seeing this, Emilia poked Aqua on the shoulder. "Look, Lady Aqua. Is this child an acquaintance of Lady Aqua?" "Yeah. It is my junior goddess, Eris. I have been taking care of her since the beginning. In the past, it was me who took care of Miss Aqua, so, was it because the gratitude was too strong? Eris was completely speechless. Emilia nodded and thought to herself, I see, my name is Emilia, the name is Emilia. Tell me more, Eris, but, please also advise. No. This is not the time to lose with Senior. Senior, all of a sudden, is there anything wrong? Look, even if you being so smug, I will not be afraid. Miss Emilia is not dead yet. It's all arbitrariness of the Senior. Huh? Aqua was shocked when she heard what Eris said. The Senior sneaked into my room and saw information about other worlds and got confused. The child I asked said that in that world the judgment of life and death is very complicated. So she messed up accidentally. Don't make excuses. So what do you mean? Is Emilia actually not dead yet? Yes, she's not dead. To be accurate, it should be near death, but the soul was forcibly hooked by the Senior. So, if you don't hurry back, then Eris looked at Emilia with pity. I'm so sorry, Miss Emilia. Because of our mistakes, you suffered such. Eris hurriedly bowed her head to apologize to Emilia, while Aqua just watched quietly. Emilia, as the person in question, closed her eyes. Hey, that, though I don't know very well. What is going on? In other words, Miss Emilia, you can go back to the original world. Can I go back? According to Eris's elaborate explanation, Emilia seemed to understand at least. Be able to return safely back to her original place in Lugnica, back to Roswell Mansion, once again to see Puck and everyone. It was a happy news. Emilia has a lot to do. No, Emilia. Go back to such a place. Senior. Hearing Aqua's speech, Eris and Emilia raised their heads at the same time. Then Aqua went behind Emilia. Isn't it all because of Eris's mistakes? Although there may be a reason for me, isn't Emilia already here? It must be an error, Lady Aqua. Right after finally getting the adventurer card, is the adventure going to end as soon as it starts? So utterly, Aqua suddenly grabbed Emilia by the sleeve, preparing to escape. Senior, stop taking a stand. Whatever you do is useless. It doesn't matter if it's useless. Because, in this child's world, she must cover her ears and hair to go out. She can't walk freely, and worry about it every day. It's pitiful, isn't it? Eris lowered his head in silence. This is the proof that Aqua cannot be refuted. Then Aqua looked at Emilia. Emilia, just like that, don't go back and stay here. Although I really want you to defeat the Demon King, let's forget it. I will tell Kazuma to let Emilia join us. Lady Aqua, although she can't match me, Emilia is also very cute. Be careful and true. If there is anything, you can call on me anytime, and Megumin and Darkness can tell about it. Surely you will become good friend with those two soon. Megumin may be awkward because there will be one more archwizard, but I think you will get along well. Although it's just a feeling, Lady Aqua, although Darkness may be a little weird at times, she is basically a serious person, so don't worry. There are a lot to say about the room, although sometimes something weird happens. Lady Aqua, Emilia interrupted Aqua. Aqua, who noticed Emilia's tone, did not go, but waited for Emilia's words. Lady Aqua, thank you very much. I'm sorry, if you dare to defy the goddess, you are not qualified. Fired, you are fired, okay. Thank you very much. This is the end of the brief encounter between those two. Miss Emilia has returned to her original world without incident. She should have woken up now, right? Thank you. That one, Senior, you know, since I said I knew it, just don't keep talking. Don't keep talking. Yes, I got it. After that child goes back, if she still remembers what happened here, it might have some bad influence on her. After all, she is a kid who is not good at hiding. Yes, so, the memory of Miss Emilia, no need to confirm it. So what? Is there anything else? Okay, well, I'll try to hide it this time. Senior Aqua, please stop. Yeah, Senior. Also, anything else? Please, don't be too upset. Humphrey. How could I be upset? There are so many lovely Axis cultists in this world who are waiting for to be redeemed by me. It's just a reduction of one believer, how can it be upset, senior? Moreover, Eris is too naive. Just erase her memory will not stop the blessings I bestowed on that child. Sorry, do. Hey, don't you know? Poop, poop. I don't even know if you're a goddess, that's hilarious. What a shame, Eris, spot it, senior. I'm really angry. Freed from the painful struggle, she finally started to regain conscience. After slowly opening her eye, there was a black-haired teenager in front of her. Subaru? Oh. Emilia. Emilia-tan? Are you okay? Can you breathe? The boy who was called by the name Subaru talked to Emilia with tears in his eyes. Then, when he was about to hug Emilia, yahaha, puff, the kitten flying over magnificently from the side suddenly kicked Subaru, and after a cat kick his face, Subaru fell out of the bed. It was a cat-type spirit at the size of a palm, Puck. After Puck shrank, he slowly flew to Emilia's eyes. Are you okay, Leah? You almost died. Hey, what's wrong with me? Oh, I made mochi because I wanted to reproduce the cuisine of my hometown. I wanted Emilia-tan to taste it. I didn't expect it. Sorry. I am so sorry. After seeing Subaru hurriedly apologizing, Emilia looked at Puck terrified, as if confirming whether it is true or not. Puck held his shoulder helplessly. It's true. What should I do if anything happened to Leah? Anyway, it seems that Subaru needs to be punished as well. Don't say such odd things. It was also because of my carelessness. I'm sorry, I worried you too. How long did I sleep? Rather than being asleep, I was basically in a comatose state, and it didn't take long. Is that so? However, I'm feeling that I have had a long dream. She didn't have the memory of the dream at all, but she had a strange feeling, so Emilia raised her hand and took a closer look. After seeing Emilia's behavior, Subaru and Puck tilted their heads. Then Emilia said to them, "Can you take a look at my right hand?" The two people who were full of doubts had no choice but to do what Emilia said. Then, Emilia closed her eyes and said as they paid attention on her hands, "Nature's beauty." So the screams of the two echoed through the Roswell's mansion. Also, Emilia's cheerful laugh.